Okay, great. This will be some notes about the inclusivity portion of our discussions. And the moderator was Gary Messinger, who is in charge of outreach for the group. He brought along with him Susan Olson and John Olson. Susan is a caretaker, and John is someone who would be classified as someone who has special needs. And as a later part, he described what he does, and I'll go over that then. We had several discussions from the room. Lots of talent and lots of interests were represented. Marcia, for example, was interested in collaborating with active time banks regarding people with needs. Dennis spoke from his perspective regarding the Green Bay Time Bank, and he's interested in skills analysis and information gathering. Kathy, working for Community Care of Wisconsin on managed care for disabilities. Lauren from Wausau on gathering information. How can members find each other? Leslie Taylor from Appleton's Sustainable Fox Valley Group said you don't have a neighborhood organization in many places, and that doesn't exist either in Fox cities. So she's looking into ways to organize neighborhood initiatives, working with aged and disability centers within Brown County. I participate in volunteering my time in McBurney Disability Center in the University of Wisconsin, doing document conversion, taking printed books and converting them for use by people with sighted challenges so they can read books and take courses and not lose out on course materials. By the way, the University of Wisconsin Systems Charter includes a mandate to provide all course materials for all people regardless of disabilities or not. Diane Brown is looking for ways to assist others as she has in the past. And then we come to Susan Olson. Susan said that the Milwaukee area time bank, not the Madison one, started in 2009. She's a caregiver. She's looking for ways to assist people in becoming normalized in their own communities. And she specifically said the word normalized because the word inclusive or included doesn't necessarily mean that you have become a person who is in the middle of the activities. You come to a party, you're at the wall, nobody talks to you, etc. That's not inclusive. So she said, and other people confirmed it, Maslow in his list of management principles has something called a sense of belongingness. And the sense of belongingness is a very major part in bringing people into a community and making them a fully functioning and productive part of it. She's been looking at the Disability Division of Milwaukee County, obtaining funding for part-time positions for people such as community connectors, people who can connect the need to the resource. She's seeking grants, and her group has received through the Dane County Time Bank 501c3 opportunity. And this would be as a one-time, for example, pass-through right now. We find that, according to what people have said, that local governments look for cost justifications and what is in it for their constituents before they even want to consider any initiatives that were discussed. And as the budget shrinks, the cracks get larger, people more and more fall through these cracks. And so cost-benefit analyses need to be developed by each individual organization that wants to provide this kind of assistance. So how can part-time funded time bank activities supplant or replace full-time municipal activities? The cost savings within those comparisons are what are going to make it possible for us to justify this to our legislators and to the city managers to support us. We got several examples from Gary about part-time neighborhood coordinators that developed available resources, providing personal transportation. And there was a transportation contract that the city of Madison provided for bus angels. I call them bus angels because these are people who are going to help you learn how to understand the ride guide, how to be able to pick out what buses get you where and when, and how come this is dark gray and how come this is light gray in the map. And so that's a very significant way to get people independently to get themselves to where they have to do their functions. And John Olson is an example of someone who has taken advantage of his abilities and overcome some of his inabilities. He is working last as providing assistance and earning time dollars or time hours, teaching people how to hook rugs, how to collate bulletins, and he also processes greeting cards for people. His last job was working for Krispy Kreme Donuts, but he lost it because of corporate restructuring. So he wanted the job in food service, but that hasn't come to pass yet. But there are local co-op opportunities possible. One thing that were really impressive is that he took the time bank hours and he purchased horseback riding lessons. And he's involved in equine therapy, and also he's having someone help him with housekeeping services. So this is a perfect example of having people make maximum use of the abilities. Gary provided some examples in closing. People who are looking for someone to chat with, play cribbage with. So you don't have to have a specific ability other than a welcome ear and a kind heart. Support workers who have been laid off can continue to test their skills while they're in the process of looking for jobs, and they can earn time bank dollars. Time Bank helped inform people in Stoughton on a specific project that they had programs for people with special needs. Time Bank was also able to provide part cash, part hours for participation with teens. And finally, Manny says, it's not about the time, it's about the relationship.